Welcome to the webinar for Advanced Receiving. When we get through this, you should all have a deeper understanding of the receiving process inside OCOS. You'll also learn how to perform a few advanced receiving operations. So, to begin, we're going to open the Inbound Truck screen by clicking Receive. Here's the Inbound Truck screen. While called a truck, this screen can also refer to rail cars, ships, or any other method of transporting equipment or tubular goods. This will allow you to accurately move pipe between locations. The truck information at the top of this screen allows you to track who's shipping the inventory, in this case, Armada Shipping, and it also lets you track a few other things like the truck driver and truck's ID, and make some comments, load instructions, and the tie-down method. The ship from information to the left shows who the owner of the inventory was when it was shipped, as well as all the information from the inventory's original location. In this example, the original owner was Garcia Power Gas. The ship to information shows who the owner of the inventory is after it is received, as well as all the information of the inventory's destination. In this example, my company will own the inventory after it enters our yard. My company is, of course, Archon Data. Now, I'm sure you've noticed that the destination and all of its information is already filled in. When receiving inventory, the destination defaults to your default location. From that, all relevant information is filled in: the contact, email, city and state, and so on. The same is done when you enter an origin. So I'm going to select Garcia Yard as the origin here. And OCOS fills in all the information it has on Garcia Yard. Finally, the item area at the bottom of the screen shows you all the inventory coming in on the shipment. Just like jobs, trucks can use checkpoints to help you keep track of their status. Clicking the checkpoint button up top will open the checkpoints menu. So here's the checkpoints menu. Inbound trucks by default enter the system as waiting unload, which, as it implies, means the truck is waiting to be unloaded. Setting a truck to complete will, of course, complete the truck. This archives it to the dispatch so you can check on any past delivery at any time, and it also adds any jobs on the truck to your current inventory. So, now that our brief overview is done, we'll be going into some more advanced features. If you have any more questions about the basics, the Receiving Customer Inventory article on our support site should answer them. So the first thing I'm going to go into is our control number. The control number is a system-wide identification code. Jobs, sales and purchase orders, and of course, trucks can all be searched by control number. As long as this number is set first, any jobs added to this truck will inherit the number. The control number does not necessarily need to be a number. It can be any tracking code you'd like to use. So control numbers are very useful if you receive a large shipment of several trucks and need to track it all together somehow. So I'm going to give this truck a control number. So now, this truck and all jobs assigned to it will have the control number AD001. Besides the control number, you can also track trucks by the receivable number. You can search by this number when you're looking for trucks. However, unlike control numbers, it does not transfer to jobs on the truck. So let's add a job to this truck. To add a job, click Add Item. From here, the Choose Job, Item, or Part Number screen appears. For most workflows, choose a master part will be the best pick, as it creates new inventory from a master part number you already have. Now this truck is carrying some 2 3/8 J55 tubing. We can find that part number more easily by choosing tubing from the category filter. And this will make only part numbers that are tubing show up when we select our part number here. So let's find our tubing. And that's the part we need. From here, we click Select, which prompts us to enter the amounts we're receiving. In this case, this truck is carrying 50 joints. So we'll set the joints to 50. And the average of each joint is about 31. Now, as you can see, it calculated the total footage for us. Entering any of two of these fields automatically fills the third in, so it can be customized to your workflow. From here, you can assign the rack on your yard that this inventory is going to. So I'm going to put this on rack A1. So now we click OK to accept these amounts. And that adds the job to the truck. Now we can double click on the job to open its information screen. And if we look here under sender, we can see our control number was automatically applied to this job. So we don't want to do anything to this job, so I'm just going to close its screen so we can get back to our truck. Next thing I'm going to be covering is the clone utility. This allows you to duplicate every detail about a truck except the number, driver, and any jobs on it. So this allows you to rapidly input several trucks in the same shipment. To do this, you simply right-click on a blank space and click Clone. And that creates a duplicate truck. As you can see, our control number, our shipper, and our from and to information are already filled in. So let's put a job on this cloned truck. So again, we're going to add item. Same as before, master part number. And this truck's carrying the same inventory. So tubing, 2 3/8. This one's only carrying 20 joints, so 20. And the average is 31 again. And this is going on rack A2. All right. So that adds the job to this cloned truck. And we are done with this truck. So let's complete it to remove it from view. And as I said before, completing an inbound truck closes the truck out, archives it in your dispatch, and brings its inventory into your location. Move on to digital signatures and bills of lading. If you have a tablet, you can have the truck driver sign off on the bill of lading digitally instead of having them sign a physical copy. To get a digital signature from your driver, click the Get Driver Signature button. This will open a Sign to Accept dialog. From here, the driver can sign using a PIN-enabled tablet or with a mouse if necessary. Alright, then you can input the driver's email address if they would like a copy of the bill of lading emailed to them. Then you click Accept. This signature will then appear on your bill of lading. Speaking of which, let me show you where to find that. It's easy enough to get to. All you need to do is click the Print Truck button up top here. And use your bill of lading with all of the information that a bill of lading should have on it. And you can see down here at the bottom, there's that digital signature we just got. From here, you can click the Print button up top to print this bill of lading. And it pulls up a standard print dialog where you can set it up any way you'd like. Now you can also print some other information if you'd like to. So let me close out of the bill of lading so I can show you that. Back to our truck screen. First thing you can do is essentially make a shipment-wide bill of lading by using your control numbers. As long as you assign a control number to each truck in a shipment, you can make a report by control number. To see this report, click the arrow next to Print Truck, and then click Trucks by Control Number. This makes a report based on the control number of the truck you ran the report on. You can see that number up in the header here. This report combines data from every truck that is using this control number. That way, you can quickly see every piece of inventory you've received over this shipment, and at the bottom, you have the total amounts you've taken in. So I'm going to close out of this. And you can also print an unloading slip or a receipt. To print either of these, again, just click the arrow next to Print Truck and choose the appropriate item from the drop-down that appears. The unloading slip and receipt present the same information as a bill of lading. They are simply titled differently and in some cases have slightly different format. If you'd prefer to go paperless, you can also email the bill of lading. To do this, click the arrow next to the Send button and select Send Bill of Lading. Now this is going to call up Outlook. And it gives you a short pre-written message and attaches the bill of lading and some information about the jobs on the truck as PDF files. This email is automatically addressed to yourself, and your company's primary contact. From here, you can edit the body of the email, change who it's being sent to, and so on. And if we open our bill of lading, as you can see, it'll be exactly the same as what you saw on the printout. So let's close out of this, and let's close Outlook for now. Any questions? All right, on to the next topic. First of all, we're done with this truck, so let's complete it so we're back on the home screen. Now, let's say we need to make a correction to a truck that we've already completed. Say we received a truck yesterday, but since we entered its information today, the system thinks it came in today. To change a truck's information, first we need to open the dispatch. The dispatch is your search for all your trucks. If you click search now, it'll show all your open trucks if you have any. I only have one. To look for completed trucks, you'll need to activate advanced search. You're going to change your status to complete. Now this is going to show you every completed truck you have, which can get a little hard to look through after a few shipments. Luckily, we assigned a control number, so we can search for control number AD001 and hit search, and there's our trucks. This pulls up every truck attached to that control number. So now we find the truck with the incorrect date and double click it. In this case, it's the one that had 50 joints. And it opens our truck log. However, we can't change values on completed trucks, so we'll need to reopen it. To do that, we're going to right-click in a blank space and click Reopen. Alright, now up at the top, we can see the truck's in date. As you can see, it reads September 9th, today's date. To change this, we click the calendar drop-down to the right of the date, and from here, select the correct date. In this case, we received the truck on September 8th, so we'll pick that day. And the date has been corrected. Now we need to complete the truck again since we're done fixing it. And now that we're on the dispatch screen again, once we refresh, you can see that the date has changed. There's also a way to correct jobs that were improperly entered on trucks, but we'll be covering that and similar operations in next week's webinar. So on to our next topic. Let's close the dispatch to get back to the home screen. So say you accidentally open a truck. Even with nothing on it, the system has created and will track a blank, empty truck. Enough of these can clutter your searches. But that's not really an issue, as you can easily deal with this by voiding the truck. To do this, simply right-click and click Void. The system will ask you if you're sure you want to void the truck, so we click Yes. Now as you can see, that closed the truck, and the system will no longer include it in normal inventory. Don't worry if you accidentally void a truck though. You can still check voided trucks by searching for the voided status in dispatch, and voided trucks can be reopened and their checkpoint changed, and they will be treated as normal. Now, besides control numbers and receivable numbers, you can also track trucks and the jobs on them by creating a sales order for them. I'm going to show you how that works. So, let's receive another truck. So let's fill in our information again. Alright, so now before we add any jobs, we're going to tick this Create a Sales Order box down here. This will create a sales order, and all jobs on this truck will be assigned to that order. So I'm going to add a couple of items really quick as an example. I've already gone through that process, so I'm going to do it a little more quickly this time. And I'll put some 2 7/8 just to show that it can track different jobs. Alright, so those 2 jobs have been created. Let's close the truck let's complete the truck so that I can show you the sales order that we created. Now let's open up our Sales Order Explorer by clicking Sales. And if you hit search, we can see a new sales order here. This first one is the one that we just created. If we open it up by double-clicking, you can see the 2 jobs that we just created on the truck are already in here. They will now be tracked together on this sales order, even if you perform transfers, split them into multiple jobs, or make other alterations to them. We're on to our last topic then. Let me show you our report for one of our reports for received trucks. To find this, we need to get back to the home screen first. So to do this, we'll close the sales order screen, and then we'll close the search window. So now we're back home. Now our report is going to, of course, be in Reports, and you're going to find it under Dispatch. And the report we're looking at now is Dispatch Received. So the Dispatch Received report shows you all the trucks that you've received, who shipped them, what was on them, and other information such as the control number, the purchase order or sales order, or the purchase order that it was on, part number, status, and so on. This way you can see just how much of what inventory you've pulled in lately. And it also shows you a total of how many joints, footage, and weight that you've received.